Dr. Mansukh Mandavia says that he is going to liberate us from colonial mindset. I want to accuse them who they are. Today they want to take our country once again in the neo-colonial side. That to do labor is your dharma. You cannot question. You cannot ask for wages. You cannot confront employer. You cannot be a trader. You cannot be a leader. And if you question anybody, you will be punished. And Shudra means if you insult any of your employer of upper caste, your lips can be cut. They are serving the big corporate houses, Adanis and Ambanis. All corporate houses will benefit, but who are the major benefits? We will not let you down. We will fight. We will be on the streets. We are ready to go to jails. Workers of our country are facing very challenging situation at present. In India, from 19th century onward, we fought for fixed working hours, for proper wages, for workplace safety, then some social security, then for future to depend upon something about pension in the old age. This step by step, these demands were picked up. And only in 20th century, we got working hour fixed up after ILO Convention number 1. But Indian working class played a very important role in the freedom movement. They were not only fighting for their own rights, they were also contributing, participating in the liberation movement against British colonial rule. Not only they were participating, rather they were an example even for the freedom movement, what course should be taken, because workers were always on streets, fighting, going on strikes, facing lathis, facing firing, going to jails. This is how the mass movement was built up by the working class of India, and that became an example even for freedom movement to pick up that way. Ultimately, all the unions formed in different sectors all over India culminated into one national center, and that was AITUC. The first national center founded in India in 1920, and that too a great freedom fighter, Lala Lajpat Rai, was its president. So much was the credibility of the working class movement that all great leaders of freedom movement wanted to have something to do with the labor movement, to side with them, to support them, and to seek their support for the freedom movement. That is how when Simon Commission came to India, Simon Commission Go Back was the slogan of the political platform. It was the slogan of AITUC also. And at that time, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was president of AITUC. Very next year, when there was a further crisis deepening in the country, at that time our president was Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, who said, "Tu mujhe khoon do, main tumhe azadi dunga." He was heading our organization. And great V.V. Giri also, when Quit India movement began, that was the year 1942 when he became president of AITUC. So the trade union movement in our country contributed in the liberation movement of our country, as well as fought for their right to be recognized as humans, not to be treated as animals, not to be pushed aside and to be put into drudgery and poverty and pushing them to suicides. No, our working class fought. But what we are seeing today, when new labor codes were introduced, it was so amusing for us to listen to the labor minister, who also wrote an article in Hindustan Times. In the article also, as well as while introducing codes also, he said, "We are trying to liberate the trade unions from the neo-colonial mindset." Colonial mindset, he said. I want to dare this present government of Narendra Modi. Is it we or is it you who have colonial mindset? We fought against colonialism to liberate our country and to win our rights, to legalize our trade unions in 1926 through Trade Union Act. We got Mines Act in 22, we got Compensation Act in 23, we got Payment of Wages Act in 1935, and we got Factory Act in 19th century and got it amended several times. We were fighting against British for our national freedom also, and also we were winning over our rights. Now this minister of Mr. Narendra Modi government, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, says that he is going to liberate us from colonial mindset. I want to accuse them who they are. They were hobnobbing. Their mother organization RSS was hobnobbing with British rule. They were playing their second fiddle. They were promoting the agenda of divide and rule. They never participated in the freedom movement. And today they want to take our country once again in the neo-colonial side. So whose colonial mindset they are challenging? They should challenge their own colonial mindset. Now these labor codes are in a way to take away our rights of 150 years of struggle. We got several labor laws during British period and then in independent India. It was not something very easy even within independent India to get our laws. We had to be on the streets, we had to go for strike, we had to agitate, we had to go for jail. All our predecessors, our great leaders did all that. And supporters of the labor movement inside the parliament, inside the state legislative supported us. This is how we achieved our labor laws. And with these labor codes, everything will be washed out. Our working hours will be increased. Our social security endangered because ESI, EPF, BD Welfare Board, Construction Workers Welfare Board, Mineral Workers Welfare Board and all these state welfare boards are supposed to be dumped into Social Security Act. Nothing is told from where the funds will come to cover everybody. And existing Social Security Acts, their fund will be eaten into by the government. Same way we are finding that the code on industry is supposed to take our right of unionizing. Because such stringent conditions are being put, it will be very difficult to register a union. Deregistration will be easy. Derecognition will be easy. Punishment of employers is reduced. Punishment on trade union leaders is increased. If you go on occupational safety health, it is not going to increase the safety situation. It is going to spoil the safety situation. It says 10 and above. Whichever institution or factory has, only there this code will be implementable. What about 93% of workforce in our country? That will be out of any protection. That will be out of any social security. That will be out of even for making a union, because you are making a law in the union in a way and then you are dissuading them. You are telling them no union will have an outsider. That means trade union leaders cannot go and help those newly formed unions. They can't be office bearer there. So in every possible manner, all the laws are brought which will be very, very damaging. Definition of wage is being changed. Not only that, wage is being changed, a whole schedule of the minimum wages has been abolished. And now they are talking of floor level wage, 176 rupees per day. Now there is no concept in Indian constitution of floor level minimum wage. Concept is of living wage. Then the lower than that is fair wage, and lower than that, just to live, subsistence wage is minimum wage. Now below the minimum wage, they want to carry us down below the poverty line itself. That is what this government is trying to do. In all possible manners, these labor codes are to actually push us to slavery. And the mindset of the government is very clear. We saw the draft labor policy. AITUC was the first to come out and reject the draft labor policy. What is this draft labor policy? They are saying our modern laws, which we fought and won from British rule and from in independent India, they are calling them as archaic, very old. But what they are saying, all what was written in Manu Smriti, in Sukriti Niti, in Yajnavalkya Smriti or in Narad Smriti, those were the days thousands of years ago when everything was defined for labor. What was defined? That to do labor is your dharma. You cannot question. You cannot ask for wages. You cannot confront employer. You cannot be a trader. You cannot be a leader. And if you question anybody, you will be punished. Even corporal punishment will be given to you. Your wage can be denied. Then those smritis tell that if any employer will allow them to accumulate wealth, because you should give sufficient only for eating or wearing the clothes, no more that. We have reached in India where we have a Rapta Coast based 15th ILC conference in which we have designed how the minimum wage should be decided. But this present government wants to take us to the days when the minimum wage was not a concept for the labor. They said whatever employer gives, you should be happy about it. And if they are also saying all labor is Shudra, let us understand, Modi and his party believes in Varun Vyavastha. They don't treat humans as humans, but we trade unions believe in labor rights are human rights. Everybody is a human being and has a human dignity. But what do they want to say? They say that all the labor is Shudras. And Shudra means if you insult any of your employer of upper caste, your lips can be cut. It is written in the Smritis. Your lips can be cut. Your wage can be denied. And forever you can be removed from work. This is the kind of situation they want to push us. They brought this draft labor policy without talking to us. They brought these labor codes without talking to the trade unions. They did not call Indian Labour Conference, no consultations, and then these labor codes are big attack on the federal structure. State government's powers are being snatched away. And that's why I think it is very important that the state government should assert how come they are snatching their rights in legislating on labor laws when it is a concurrent list. So in this whole background, we think that this government is against workers, against farmers, and is against our country itself. You see, our preamble talks of not only democracy, secularism, sovereignty, it talks of socialism also. We know India is not a socialist state, but India itself started marching on welfare state. Slowly and slowly, section after section, on the demands of the people, on the agitations of the farmers, on the agitations of the workers, on the streets and the left politics, some welfare schemes were started in India. Now this government is winding up that also. So they don't want even welfare state concept to remain. What to talk of socialism? That is in the background. Even welfare state. And example is clear example, Manrega. What they have done to Manrega? It was demand based. They have made it supply based. Now they will decide where to give, where not to give. And the funds will be squeezed. There was a situation of you cannot tinkle with this thing. But now they will use administrative action. And administrative actions can be removed any time. So Manrega is ruined. Now similarly other welfare schemes also, one after another, they will kill those schemes also. This government is only and only for ease of doing business. That is openly they say that these labor codes we brought for ease of doing business. And in the business, whom they are serving? They are serving the big corporate houses, Adanis and Ambanis. All corporate houses will benefit, but who are the major benefits? The real friends of Mr. Narendra Modi, the crony capitalists this government is, so their cronies are Adanis and Ambanis. So on their pretext, for their help, they have brought these labor codes. LDF government in Kerala conducted a labor conclave. It was a right step to discuss about this thing and also listen to the trade unions. We think this step, it should not remain only a conclave and discussion. It should be carried forward. Kerala government should see to it all the negative anti-constitutional aspect must be fought back. And they should see to it that in Kerala, all the sectors which are left out of labor laws, there should be new enactments for them also. But simultaneously, I want to tell you that the draft labor policy also needs to be discussed. Now, when I say pro-corporate, these labor codes are, what do the corporates do? They play havoc with the lives of employees. They play havoc with the lives of common people. You take the latest example. The example is of what happened in Indigo flights. No other flights were disturbed. Only Indigo flights were disturbed. Several thousands of passengers suffered. Thousands of flights were cancelled. Why? 3 years ago, there were international laws established what should be the criteria for rest of pilots, for the rest of land staff, for the rest of crew members. Indian government failed to implement it. because Indian government believes in whatever safety goes to hell. You take your electoral bonds, which ultimately were cancelled by Supreme Court. But they have been receiving money from the violators of law, putting the life of workers and the common citizens in danger. And now they put to ransom this government. Why? And Indian government listened to them to relent those conditions. I just want to tell the people of India, just think, if a pilot's life they don't bother about, his safety, his attention, his rest, on whose work the life of thousands of passengers depends. If that is happening to a person like pilot of an airline, what will happen to the common worker in difficult situation? Will anybody bother for them? No. So this government of Mr. Narendra Modi listens to only corporate pressure. This we latest witnessed it, and that's why we think these labor codes will be actually making the labor slave. And labor was slave 19th century and before, and we fought and we tried to bring it out of slavery. This government wants to push us once again into slavery. So then we have to follow our forefathers, our freedom fighters who fought for workers, got these laws. We have to promise them, we will not let you down, we will fight, we will be on the streets, we are ready to go to jails, and we will not let the next generation to tell what were that generation doing when these labor codes were being imposed on us. So we will not fail those future generations, we will fight on this. So this fight will go on, and AITUC will be the leading force. We take all the trade unions, we work together. A platform has been formed, we work over there. We have built up good bridges with the Sanyukt Kisan Morcha also, and we are going forward. And now we are asking other sections of the society also, let us save India. Our democracy is under danger, our constitution is under danger, our human rights are under danger, and rather I should say, the government is moving in the direction of fascism. That is how they are behaving. So if we have to protect India, if we have to save India, working class will have to play a leading role, and that is our responsibility. Being in AITUC, all my AITUC colleagues in all over India have to be seriously, they have been implementing the decisions of AITUC headquarters and the joint decisions of the trade unions. Morcha also, I am very sure this battle will be carried forward. Maybe in the coming days, on 22nd, we have a meeting of central trade unions, and we have decided that we will go in for a strike action to oppose these labor codes. And after that strike action, long battle will go on in this country, as long battles were waged earlier in achieving these codes. Now, in achieving our labor laws, which are being bounded up into these labor codes, and now we will have to have long battles to halt these labor codes, to halt their damages on our working people, on our nation.